Hello wonderful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is what we'll be learning today. So guys, sit back, relax, and let's make this wonderful zara cap today. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So guys, this is what we'll be making. This is the material. What I'm using to make this is a shiny face satin. The mirror face, like it's a shiny face satin. So guys, the length of the measurement of the fabric I'm using is 25 inches by 18 inches, and for the marco it is 18 inches by 2.5 inches. So now guys, you fold your fabric across the 25 inches part, and then you notch the middle, fold your marco 2 into 2, and you notch the middle. Just note or mark the midpoint. So now after doing that, you place the fabric down. Make sure it's the notched part that you are placing down, and then you try to place your marco at least 4 inches away from the edge of the fabric. Measure 4 inches from the edge of the fabric. That's the part that you note as the middle. Measure 4 inches and then you fold your fabric. Raise your marco and then you fold the rough edge of the fabric in under the marco. Like you just raise your marco and then you fold it under you. So after doing that guys, we'll be sewing, taking it to our sewing machine to sew down. Just start from one end and you sew down straight to the other end. So just make sure that it's folded properly, because you don't want any issues when you are sewing down. So let's take it to our sewing machine and sew down. So guys, when you are sewing, you don't sew on the marco. You sew very close to the marco. Like make sure you are sewing very close to the marco, but don't sew on your marco. Do everything possible not to sew on your marco. So that is why when you are sewing this, you take your time. Do it gently, slowly, okay, so that you don't sew on the marco. I'll be taking us to my sewing machine so you see what I do. So now guys, this is me sewing it, my sewing machine. So you see the way I'm just taking it little by little, making everything possible, like making sure that I don't sew on my marco. So just wash carefully. You will see the way I'm folding in and then taking everything easily and lightly. So I'm just taking my time and then arranging everything and making sure I'm sewing down neatly, not on my marco. So guys, after we are done sewing, this is what we have. See, this is what we have. So now guys, this is the right side. You see the stitched, the 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 sewn part showing at the front, guys. We're moving it up a bit to the back side. So guys, we'll be moving it to the back side. See the one I'm just trying to shift that sewn part all to the back side, like to the wrong side, so it doesn't show on the front side. So you just do this quietly, take your time, and also do this so that the stitched part, like the thread is not showing, the line of your stitch is not showing at the front of the mark of your zara cap. So you just push that line back. Because you didn't sew on your marco, this will be easier for you. So this is one of the reasons why we don't sew on the marco when we stitch down, so that you can easily turn that sewn part to the wrong side. Just trying to make this video very detailed, so even if you are a beginner, you can follow easily. So guys, notice this. When you've done this, make sure that your marco is still at the midpoint, then you fold into two. See how I'm placing it down, like I'm making sure the marco, when I fold it into two, I make sure that the marco, like they are meeting each other at the same point. That is, that they are this is just watch what I'm doing. So that's just what you do. Make sure that they are at the midpoint. If they don't match up, like if everything doesn't match up, please shift it, arrange everything so that they match up. That's just it. So you see, I fold it into two. After folding it into two, and then I went and I sewed down that point where the mark ended. I sewed it down after making sure that they meet up. And now guys, we'll be folding again into two. You know, after I measured and I make sure that the markers are meeting each other, that they are the midpoint, everything aligning properly, and that they are just well arranged, I went and I sewed down that point where the marker ended. And now guys, I folded again into two, and I'm taking my head circumference measurement so that I can now go and close up my zara cap. So take your head circumference measurement. At this point, I want to advise that because what we are using, the material we are using, is not a stretchy fabric, please, when you take your head measurement, like if you are working with the head circumference of 22 inches, please add extra 1 inch. Like you can add extra 1 inch to that, and then you sew down. Like, you know, if you fold it into two, instead of taking the head circumference of 22 inches, that is 22 inches divided by 2 is 11, you can do it 12, or you can even do it 11.5. Just add some allowance to it because it's not a stretchy fabric, so that it can really fit the size, the head circumference you are working with. So guys, after I folded into two and took my head circumference measurement, I sewed down, curving it round. And so guys, see that I've sewn it down. So now I'll be running a stitch, and it will be ending right before that folded part of the marco. So I've just run my running stitch, tied the knots, and then my zara cap is ready. So it's ready now, and we'll be moving on to the design. We'll be making this bow tie. Like guys, you'll be surprised to see how I made this bow tie. It's very beautiful. So now guys, at this point, I have my fabric for the bow. What I have here is 18 inches. Yeah, 18 inches by 11 inches, right? That is, sorry, what I have here is actually 14 inches by 11 inches. On the 14 inches part, I folded it into two. Yeah, from that 14 inches part, I folded it into two, making it 11 inches. making it 7 inches, sorry. So you fold the 14 inches by 11 inches into two, and then you just take a curve like you are making a circle. See, you just take that curve around. Like, I just hope as you listen to me, you also watch what I'm doing so that it will be easier for you to understand what I'm saying. So you see, I folded into two, and now I have another piece because this bowl is two, and this one measures 8 inches by 14 inches because it's smaller than the first one. So you just curve it round again, just like the first one, to form a circle. So that's just it. And this stay I'm working with is color stay. Guys, are you not surprised? I know you must be surprised by this time. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up, okay? If you gained any form of value from this, please give it a thumbs up, like it, share it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is wonderful. So I added a color stay to this. So I did, as the interfacing, I didn't add anything like crinoline or any other thing or foam. So it just color stay. You know, color stay can be very hard, like it's hard. So I just ironed color stay to it because it's hard enough. So you just take the color stay is like those normal stays. So it has the part that is gummy. So you place the wrong side of your fabric on the gum part. That's the part that is shine on the collar stay, is the part that is gummy. So you just place it down and then you iron it down with your hot iron. And then now, guys, after I was done ironing the collar stay to the circle, I went and I folded into two and I sewed down just like you saw me do. And then after I've sewn down, I left at least 3 inches space at the top of the circle. So that 3 inches space is for me to turn it inside out. And so, guys, at this point, just take your time when you are turning it inside out because it's a color stay and it's hard. You just do it easily, you just do it quietly. Take your time, okay? So that's what I did to both circles. So you see, after doing that, I just folded in that part, that space I left to turn the circle inside out. And then I went and I sewed it down on my sewing machine. So guys, I believe you're understanding what I did. And then after I've sewn down the rough edges, that part I ironed it down, I went and I ironed it again, ironed it flat, and brought out every single edge so that it's more beautiful. I mean, this bow is very beautiful. Just try this tutorial. Do this bow, like you can add it to your turban, to any design you're making, like you're making a bow. It's very beautiful. So that's just it. So now after that, guys, after making my circle ready, I got my needle and thread, and then I've located the middle of the circle of the bow. Now this is a semicircle now because I've closed it. I located the middle and then I tacked down. I made my bow. I made the first one and then I did the second as well, folded into two, located the midpoint, and then I ran my running stitch at the midpoint. Then I joined it to I placed the smaller circle on the bigger circle, and then I joined the two. After joining the two, guys, I just went ahead to attach it to the back of my turban, guys, and that is it. So I'll leave you to keep watching. Just watch to the point that I attached it to my turban, to my zara cap. So guys, this is me attaching it to my turban, to my zara cap. Just locate the midpoint, the part where you stitch down. No, that's the midpoint, and then you join them. So beautiful. The bow is standing very nicely, okay? So guys, this is, we all know this. As for the color stay, you get it where they sell things like tailoring materials because tailors use it. So now guys, I'm using this. I don't know, this is just like a lace design. We all know this, except if you're a beginner. If you don't know, I don't know what it's called. Please guys, if you know what this is called, like this design that I got, that silver design, please, you can leave it at the comment section, so that, because me, I don't know what it's called. Some people call it sugar design. I don't know why. So guys, this is what we'll be using to embellish. The beautiful thing about this is that you can cut it out, like just cut it out and make whatever design you want to make with it. I'm just showing us so that we see what I used to embellish my zhara cap. So you can just do yours the way you want. So just know that I cut it out and then I placed it the way I saw fit, and that's just all. So guys, for this, you know that this very sugar thing, this very design has, like, it falls off. The shiny things, like all these shine things on it falls out, like they keep falling out, like just easy. They're just like feeling everywhere. If you touch it, it's just coming out. Like, so what you do for it is that you use your stiffener. You add stiffener to this so that it doesn't fall off. Like, after adding stiffener, you leave it under the sun to dry, or under a cool breeze to dry, and then you can start using it for your design. So it's always good to add stiffener to this. Like, just add a little, like take your fingertips and then, or your brush, and then just apply to all those shiny parts of this design, of this embellishment, this sugar design. So that's what people call it, sugar. In my area they call it sugar. It was even a client that called it sugar for me. For me, I don't know, so I don't really call it. When I just go to my millinery to the millinery shop where I get things, I just tell them, just give me this thing. So that's it. That's what I do. So now guys, this is it. You know that this thing is like a lace or like a net, so it has openings. So when you're applying your glue, please be careful. Don't apply on the open part so that your work doesn't look rough. So that gum, all these gum things doesn't show when you are done with your work. So guys, this is the final look. Please like, share and subscribe.